Hey, Jeff with Forever Clean Detailing is back. I just went and saw one of the two of the people that I buy chemicals from and supplies. One of them I can't think of the name of. I know one of them is Auto Magic. And when I go through Auto Magic, there's chemical that I buy is for the tornado. I normally never ever use harsh chemical. I know a lot of people, when it comes to their tornadoes, I've seen people use all-purpose and degreasers. I don't do that. And I hear a lot of people having issues with their tornadoes. Also, when you're using it, especially on a dirty car, you should definitely keep a bucket of water around to keep the cone cleaned out. And his son, I'm gonna look on my receipt and see what the name of his business. He he buys, he sells flex polishers, repairs, and tornadoes. And I bought one of my tornadoes from him, and I buy so much from him, he actually gave me a Tornador Classic. So now I have 3 Tornador Classics. He sells chemical by, boy, my wording is terrible. It's called Ardex. He sells Ardex chemicals. And there's a wheel cleaner that I use from them, that I purchased from him. It's called Buster. It's very good chemical. I buy it by the 5-gallon. And also his all-purpose, which is called New Wave. I buy New Wave, I cut it, and what I love about the New Wave, when you cut it, it literally leaves the car smelling fresh. So I buy that. So that's like a 2-in-1. You know, it's a 2-in-1. You buy the New Wave, and like I say, when I cut it, it literally leaves the car smelling fresh. I use the Buster for strictly the wheels. Especially I get people with cars that they don't clean the wheels. The barrel of the wheels are terrible. They've never been cleaned, and I use that. I buy both of those by the 5-gallon. So those are 2 suppliers locally that I use. Every now and then I probably would go through Detail King. I use Auto Geek, some Detail Image, to get different things, because no one company sells everything that I like. And if they all carry somewhat the same thing, sometimes one will give a deal when the other one won't. Or you may be able to get it quicker than others. So with that, different chemicals. I normally do not buy chemical out of the local stores. Not saying it's not good. I have done it in a pinch. A lot of people use Super Clean. I have done it. I remember finding it a couple of times years ago. I think it was almost a 5-gallon. I prefer not to. I'm not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't use. You buy what you like and what works best for you. I buy what works for me. So if anyone asks me, I'll tell them what I use, what I prefer. What you prefer works good for you. And that's as well as when it comes to machinery, supplies, all of that. We all use things that are different. Some of us use the same. Some people are a Rupaz. A lot of people like Rupaz. I've tried it. I'm thinking about buying one. But like I said, I have 2 flex polishers. I have the 3401 and the EXF, I believe. The 15 DA. I have that one. I love Flex. Been with Flex for a while. I don't buy everything from one person. Like I have 2 Adams polishers. The one that looked like the Rupaz iBird. Then I have the 3-inch Swirl Killer. Love them both. They work wonderful. So I don't go, just because you Rupaz, I don't buy everything Rupaz. Or if you Flex, I don't buy everything Flex. I change up on different things that I use. My chemicals, I stick with. My compounds, they got a company called Paste that I use. I'm a Manzerna person. Love Manzerna. Let me catch this light. I'm a Manzerna person. When it comes to my pads, I use different pads that I like. I would try them. If I like them, I stick with them. I use foam. I use wool, and I use the other one when it come out. It's a mixed blend. It's the white and black. Can't think of the name of it. I also use those. I love them. So again, when it comes to detailing, whatever you like, no one should come in and tell you what you should and shouldn't do unless they see you doing something wrong. And I'm only suggesting. It's up to you if you want to change it. And I'm only tell you because I know it's better and it works. I'm only tell you my experience, what I've done, and what worked. I will not tell you anything that someone else will tell me. Let's say someone say, hey, Jeff, try this chemical, it's the best. And then you come along and ask me, about a chemical, and I'll say, hey, so-and-so tells me this is some good stuff. And I would like, hey, try it, it's good. No. That's not how I operate. That's not how I work. I will tell you what I have used, what I'm using, what I have done, and what I'm doing. I only give you experience, something I've used and what I'm doing. And I've been doing it a while, almost 44 years. I've been detailing. Started out at a car rental place back in the early 80s. It was a car rental place. I started off washing cars. Then I moved up to Porter, started doing a little waxing. But if we go back even before that, my older 2 brothers, when they would come over the house, and during the summer, they'd come over the house, want to wash their car and clean them up. Well, when they would come over, I would use their chemicals. No joke. I would wash my bicycle, wax my bicycle, and use their chrome polish and polish the wheels on my bike. I used to have the cleanest bike. Only thing I didn't do is put any tire dressing on my tires, but my bicycle stayed clean. So that's how far I've been doing it. So we want to say 70s. We want to say the 70s, right before teenage, into teenage, cleaning my bicycles. got into detailing, worked for a couple of detail shops, a couple of car dealerships, and just kept doing it. And I would go get jobs, but detailing kept calling me back. It was like, I know it, I love it. I didn't feel satisfied doing anything else. Also, I used to work maintenance, in apartment buildings. Then I went to the commercial side. I like working with my hands. Never got into carpentry work. But again, detailing kept calling me. I would do it part-time. Someone would see me with a clean car. Hey, who cleaned your car? Who detailed it? That's what I do. You have a number? Back then, we had pagers. I would give them my pager number. I would clean their car. So detailing has been in my blood. I want to say right at 44 years, probably almost 45 years. I've been into cleaning cars, detailing it. And if you want to know, I go back where, and some people still do it, where we take the seats out of your car. Take the seats out of your car, use a bucket, brush, and a vacuum, and your car would look new. But it took more time. I often get, I'm all across the board with me talking. So I may start to the left and go to the right. I would get, now people like, hey, my car is dirty. Do you take out the seats? No, I have the tools that keep me from doing that. And some people, hey, I need the seats taken out. Well, we can do that, but it's going to cost more. Why? For one, if you take the seats out someone's car, this is what I hear. I don't know. The seat's supposed to be torqued down to a certain spec. So if you take the seats out, they're supposed to be torqued down back to a certain tightness. I don't know. When the collision centers call me over, I did a vehicle, I want to say about a week ago. Collision center called me. It was a flood damage. I think I may have put it on, I may have posted that where there was no seats in the car and I did an ozone. I should have asked them, do they use a torque stick? I mean, not torque stick, the thing to tell you how much pounds of pressure that you tighten something up with. See, do they do that when they reapply seats? That's something to look into. I don't know. It's something I hear. So I'm not don't quote me, but I hear that's what's supposed to happen. I've never had to take any seats out. When I go to a collision center, they've already done it, and they reinstall the seats. So again, today is a, I don't know if you can tell it or not. Let me take this down. It's very, very foggy out here. Very foggy. I'm not working today. I, like I said, went to one of my suppliers. Had to get some supplies to make sure I have everything I need. Whoa, what are you doing, lady? You jump in front of me and then you stop. Okay, but yeah, I stay supplied. I try not to run out. I used to keep an inventory of what I use the most and when I'm running low, so I can re-up on supplies. I'm gonna go back to that because it did help, especially when you have employees. When you have employees, you need to, because they won't do it. They're not gonna tell you when you're low. And two, either you cut the chemical or you teach them to do it and make sure they stay on top of it, because a lot of people seem to think more is better, or if you don't cut it, the stronger is better. Sometimes you're wasting chemical. They give you the instructions how to cut it and why you should for a reason. You don't You don't run out of chemical as quick, and you using it the proper way, such as when you do carpet cleaning. A lot of times if you use too much chemical without cutting it, when you come back, when the let's say if you're doing carpets and you're using an all-purpose or a degreaser, which people do, I'm not knocking it, you need to flush it out with water, because if not, even when it comes to the cloth seats, the seats and the carpet fibers get real brittle, and you want to know why. You need to flush it out with water to keep the fluffiness, put the fluffiness back into it. So that's another reason they tell you how to cut your chemical. Also, it saves money, and it reacts. I'm assuming it reacts better when you cut it right. A lot of times I'm guilty of it. I would use it. I'm like, let me use it straight. Think it's going to do better. It might, but you wasting it. And like I said, that's when I realized years ago, I'm like, why is this lady's carpet so brittle and so stiff? And when I use the extractor and I start flushing it out, I'm like, oh, it's a lot fluffier. So you got to flush out the chemical that you put in when you're doing interiors, shampooing, things of that nature. But again, this is my second video that I'm talking. I may look crazy looking around because I'm driving. On how to detail, what to do, how to use your chemical. Also, I think I gave a talk a while back on how to service your equipment. I get a couple of local guys, hasn't been in a while, it's been a while. I would get them, I had one guy would call me and say, hey Jeff, my pressure washer cut off and it's full of gas. I said, okay, were you using it when it cut off? And what he told me, he was actually on a hill. He wasn't on a flat surface, and he tried to start his pressure washer. It would come on and run for a couple of seconds and cut off. And he never told me he was on a hill, so I'm asking questions. I'm like, check the oil, because you have a shut-off system in your pressure washer and your generator. When it's low on oil, instead of damaging the engine, it cuts off. Or if you're not on level ground and the oil is and it's angled, it's not flush, it will cut off. So these part of things to maintenance your equipment. Also, while you're working, I have an ear. I can tell when one of my machines is acting up, or when you're about to run out of gas. It starts to sound funny. Also, a lot of us that use gas pressure washers, I know a lot of people go into the Krenzel, which is electric. I thought about it. The reason I'm not doing it, because of my generator and my air compressor are loud. So if I'm gonna go get a Krenzel to cut down on noise, to me it's defeating my purpose. All my equipment makes noise. And all my years I've had one customer, and I was in an office complex, and I had my trailer kind of backed up almost near this guy's window, and he came out and was saying that it was real loud. Only one person in all my years has ever complained about my equipment being noisy. Because think about it, guys. People come cut grass, cutting trees, everyone's making noise. Even in the retirement communities, I have 2 retirement communities. They have people out there that they pay to come cut the grass, loud machinery. You have people out there snow blowing. You have people out there pressure washing. So me, I don't worry about the noise. Now, you may want to protect your ears because it may be too loud. I hear, and it's nothing against nobody that has the inverter generator. It works. I love it. The reason my generators produce a lot of electricity, because I used to, and I still do, but not with a generator, my air compressors are 30. I used to have two 30-gallon air compressors, belt driven. It requires a lot of electricity. So here we go again. Sorry about that. So I require a lot of electricity. Like in my other mobile unit, I have a Generac generator. 10,000 startup electricity. 10,000 startup. 8,000 continuous. It's enough to run a house. I was plugging in different things, different cords. Me and I have another employee with me. We constantly using a lot of electricity so it doesn't bog down. I've had machinery, generator wasn't strong enough and it would bog down. So these things that I've learned. And the other generator is an all Honda. It's an ECU 5000 that'll run anything. I don't knock other generators. I actually sold a generator I've had probably almost 13 years that I bought from Harbor Freight. I stumbled up across a generator that Harbor Freight was selling back then, had a Subaru motor. There's a guy that I met that moved from where I live, which I'm in Virginia, near Quantico, Virginia. I'm 20 minutes. 20 minutes from
XPZ85 in Arlington, Wawk. $279
oh, wow.
$84.
Hold on.